Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode from DGMZ. Divane Galib, Meri Zubani. To all our returning viewers, we are very happy that you could join us again. And for the new viewers, we are delighted that you discovered the podcast and decided to tune in for the first time. Now, if you were with me in the last episode, you would know that we are currently going through Ghazal 21 from Divane Galib. We already have 3 episodes posted for this ghazal. Today is the 4th episode. And today we are going to pick up the 4th couplet for this ghazal. As always, I will read the couplet or the sher and then we will get into the impressions. So this is how it goes. कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे, कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे तेरे तीर नी में कश को, कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे तेरे तीर नी में कश को, ये खलिश कहाँ से होती जो जिगर के पार होता. As I've said in the previous episodes of this ghazal, it's a famous ghazal. And every couplet, every sher is so familiar because you've heard it so many times. This is one of them. All of them actually are famous, and so is this one. So let's do an approximate translation. Quick one. So first line, कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे. Somebody should ask my heart. Someone should come and ask my heart. तेरे तीरे नी में कश को. That this half-drawn arrow, this half-drawn arrow of yours. Second line, ये खलिश कहाँ से होती? Where would it have this sting? This arrow, where would it have this sting? जो जिगर के पार होता, had it passed through and through my heart. So that's the approximate translation, that someone should ask my heart as to whether this half-drawn arrow of yours would sting so much had it went through and through my heart. So सबसे पहली बात तो यहाँ पे जो हम लोगों को एक्सप्लोर करनी चाहिए वो है तीर, राइट. पहली लाइन में कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे तेरे तीरे नी में कश को. सो तीर यहाँ पे ऑफ कोर्स एरो आर दीज एरोज विच द बिलवेड shoots at the lover's heart. Something like the phenomena we see in Cupid's arrows being shot at the lovers, right? कुछ वैसा, but ये बात जो है this is a little different from the Cupid's arrow. So यहाँ पे जो तीर हैं वो beloved मार रही हैं and lover के दिल पे मार रही हैं. मुनीर शिकोहाबादी का ये शेर, एक बार तीर मार के अब तक खबर न ली. एक बार तीर मार के अब तक खबर न ली, या रब निगाहे मस्त ये किस बेखबर की है. So the approximate translation is, they shot one arrow at me and then never turned back to check on me. Right? Never turned back to check on me. Oh Lord, who is this? Who is this person with such wounding eyes, if you may, who does not care at all? Does not care at all. Absolutely indifferent to the carnage these arrows are causing, right? They just shoot their arrows and they never even turn back to see the damage those arrows have done. कुमार बाराबंकी का ये शेर, हाले गम कह के गम बड़ा बैठे. हाले गम कह के गम बड़ा बैठे, तीर मारे थे तीर खा बैठे. So the approximate translation is that I vocalized my pain, my angst, my anxiety, my sorrow to her. And I had thought that when I do that, it will give me some relief, vocalizing my pain to her. But it seems I have increased my grief and angst by vocalizing my pain to her. I had gone to shot arrows at her, but came back with arrows shot at me. Because, of course, the beloved probably did not take kindly to all the complaints of the lover, right? And gave him a piece of her mind. So there was no relief. In fact, the lover came back with arrows shot at him. Now, the second word in this couplet is neem. Again, a beautiful word in Urdu poetry, and हम लोग कई बार इसको देखते हैं used by different शायर्स. सो कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे तेरे तीरे नीम कश को, सो ये नीम क्या है? सो नीम का actual translation is half open, half closed, half, midway. It usually many a times is used to describe something beautiful, right? Something which is half open, half closed, or on its way to opening fully. Can be a flower, can be eyes, there are many things. So let's explore this word a little. अब ये तो बहुत ही मशहूर शेर है, मीर तकी मीर का आपने शायद सुना होगा. मीर उन नीमबाज आँखों में, मीर उन नीमबाज आँखों में सारी मस्ती शराब की सी है. So the approximate translation is that Mir, those half open, half closed eyes, right? Those half open, half closed eyes have in them the entire intoxication of the entire wine ever produced. मीर तकी मीर का एक और शेर, खिलना कम कम कली ने सीखा है, खिलना कम कम कली ने सीखा है उसकी आँखों की नीम ख्वाबी से. So the approximate translation is, these buds in the garden which get half opened and stay half closed, ये जो अदा है, right, this tactic of staying half open, half closed, these buds have learnt it from the beloved. When she keeps her eyes half open, half closed during her dreams. And then मीर तकी मीर का एक और शेर, हम ना कहते थे कि नक्श उसका नहीं नक्काश सहल, हम ना कहते थे कि नक्श उसका नहीं नक्काश सहल, चांद सारा लग गया तब नीम रुख सूरत हुई. So the approximate translation is, did I not tell you? Did I not tell you that drawing, compiling, putting together her face is not going to be an easy task? I told you that putting together her face is not going to be an easy task, and this is actually probably addressed to God, right? I told you that when you sit down to put together my beloved's face, it's not going to be an easy task. You have utilized the entire moon and still created Nimruk, half her face. What are you going to do about the other half now? Moon is gone. The whole moon was used in creating half her face. And again, जैसा हम लोगों ने कई बार वर्ड्स का एक फिजिकल मैनिफेस्टेशन होता है, फिर एक उनका मैनिफेस्टेशन होता है इन इमोशंस एंड एक्शंस एंड फीलिंग्स. सो नीम का ये फिजिकल मैनिफेस्टेशन तो हो गया, आईज एंड फ्लावर्स एंड बर्ड्स एक्सेट्रा, बट इसका एक मैनिफेस्टेशन फीलिंग्स के लिए भी है, इमोशंस के लिए भी है, एक्शंस के लिए भी है. परवीन शाकिर का ये शेर, रुखसत की घड़ी खड़ी है सर पर, रुखसत की घड़ी खड़ी है सर पर, दिल कोई दो नीम कर गया है. Beautiful couplet. The approximate translation is, now is the time to get apart. Now is the time to split. Now is the time when they will go their way, I will go mine. And in this moment, I can feel my heart splitting into two. Dil कोई दो नीम कर गया है. Two halves. My heart is splitting into two halves. Probably one will go with her, one will stay back with me. जान निसार अख्तर का ये शेर. इश्क में आज भी है नीम निगाही का चलन. इश्क में आज भी है नीम निगाही का चलन, प्यार करते हैं उसी हुस्न रिवायत से हम. So the approximate translation is that still today, in the modern times, if you may, love has the same tradition of half-closed, half-open eyes. Still, even till today, lovers talk to each other with half-open, half-closed eyes. There's a language, and I am in love with this time-tested old tradition that lovers follow. The other word which we wanted to explore in this couplet was in the second line. ये खलिश कहाँ से होती है? Word ही इतना प्यारा है, right? खलिश. खलिश, when translated, means a kind of a pinching, painful, long drawn, never ending irritation that never goes away. It never goes away. So खलिश एक ऐसा फीलिंग, फिजिकल फीलिंग है और इमोशनल भी हो सकता है, जो कि एक किस्म से हर वक्त आपको कुरेदता रहता है, हर वक्त आपको पेस्टर करता रहता है. It's this gnawing pain that never goes away. It's a dull ache that never goes away. It's a piercing pain that never goes away. Just a feeling that stays and keeps provoking you, keeps making itself felt all the time. You can't escape it. So इसके लिए साहिर होशियारपुरी का ये शेर, वो ना आए तो सताती है खलिश सी दिल को. वो ना आए तो सताती है खलिश सी दिल को, वो जो आए तो खलिश और जवां होती है. So the approximate translation is, if they don't come and meet me and I'm waiting for them, there's this consistent, insistent pain, gnawing feeling, right, that I can't escape. And when they come, that feeling just gets even more intense. So there is no escaping that feeling, right? When they are not there, it is there. And when they are there, it gets even more intensified. परवीन शाकिर का ये शेर, खलिश के साथ इस दिल से ना मेरी जान निकल जाए. खलिश के साथ इस दिल से ना मेरी जान निकल जाए, खींचे तीरे शानसाई मगर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. Beautiful couplet. The approximate translation is, as I'm trying to get rid of this khalish, this consistent, insistent pain, I am afraid that I might lose my heart and my life with it. In my efforts to get rid of this pain or this khalish, I might get rid of my heart and my life with it accidentally. Hence, when you are pulling out this thorn or arrow or whatever has pricked my heart and has created this khalish, do it slowly. Do it slowly. Tire shanasai. Shanasai is acquaintance, knowing someone. So when you are plucking that thorn or arrow of acquaintance from my heart, so basically when you are breaking the relationship or acquaintance with me, do it slowly. Do it slowly, because otherwise you might just pull the heart and along with it my life when you break acquaintance with me. अंदलीब शादानी का ये शेर, खलिश हो, दर्द हो, कशिश हो, कुछ हो. खलिश हो, दर्द हो, कशिश हो, कुछ हो, फ़कत जीना भी कोई ज़िंदगी है. So the approximate translation is, There should be something. There should be a khalish, this gnawing pain. There should be stark, frank pain. There should be desire. There should be something. Otherwise, you are just living, but you're not alive. ओवैस अहमद दौरान का ये शेर, हो तेरे दिल में मेरी खलिश मेरी आरज़ू, हो तेरे दिल में मेरी खलिश मेरी आरज़ू, मेरे बगैर चैन ना आए खुदा करे. Beautiful couplet. The approximate translation is, I hope to God that your heart also, I hope to God that your heart gets filled with a khalish or pain caused by me, with a desire for me. I wish to God that you never rest in peace without me. चिराग हसन हसरत का ये शेर, नहीं है दिल तो क्या पहलू में हल्की सी खलिश तो है, नहीं है दिल तो क्या पहलू में हल्की सी खलिश तो है, ये हल्की सी खलिश ही राफ्ता राफ्ता दिल ना बन जाए. So as you can see, a lover's heart never gets rid of this khalish. ये एक वो नश्तर है जो एक बार चुभ जाता है तो फिर ये निकलता नहीं है, और अगर इसको निकालने की आप कोशिश करेंगे तो लवर का दिल और साथ में अटकी जान भी साथ में निकल आएगी. सो ये बस फंसा ही रह जाता है वहाँ पे, राइट. सो यहाँ पे इस शेर में द अप्रॉक्सीमेट ट्रांसलेशन इज़ दैट agreed that I don't have my heart with me anymore. Of course, it has been given to the beloved, but the pain in the heart is still there. And who knows, if given enough time, this pain itself might slowly keep increasing and someday take shape of a heart and replace my heart, because heart is gone to the beloved. And ये आखिरी शेर हबीब अशार दहलवी का, पहलू में एक नई सी खलिश पा रहा हूँ मैं, पहलू में एक नई सी खलिश पा रहा हूँ मैं, इस वक्त गालिबा उन्हें याद आ रहा हूँ मैं. Beautiful couplet that in my heart, in my chest, I am feeling a new kind of a pain, a new kind of a prick, a new kind of a teasing pain, and I'm wondering what it is. Probably she is missing me. Probably she's remembering me, and this is the way my heart is responding to her calling out to me, remembering me, or missing me. So that takes care of all the key words we wanted to cover: Tir, Neem, and Khalish. Now let's get into the impression. कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे, फर्स्ट लाइन का फर्स्ट पार्ट. सो ये जो पहली लाइन का पहला पार्ट है, कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे. सो दिल को एक बहुत बड़ा ओहदा दिया है कि दिल को पता है, मारने वाले को नहीं पता है, मरने वाले को नहीं पता है, दिल को पता है. कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे. इट सीम्स इन उर्दू पोइट्री द हार्ट इज द रेसिपिएंट of all these arrows from the beloved, right? And usually these arrows do not pierce through and through. Sometimes they do, but usually they will not pierce through and through and get lodged into the heart. And they get lodged into the heart in such a way that then they cannot be separated from the heart, not without killing the lover for sure. So they get lodged into the heart and become one with the heart. Now they will stay in the heart. ना आप इसको निकाल पाएंगे और ना ये पार जाएगा, ये अटक के रह जाएगा. एंड वहीं से फिर वो खलिश चालू हो जाएगी एंड जिंदगी भर रहेगी, क्योंकि इसको आप निकाल नहीं सकते. आपने इसको निकाला तो इन ऑल प्रोबेबिलिटी लवर की जान निकल जाएगी उसके साथ. द सेकेंड थिंग, कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे तेरे तीरे नी में कश को. तीर, राइट. एंड नी में कश हम लोगों ने पढ़ा ही है कि नीम इज आइज, कश इज ड्रॉ. So, sorry, neem is half and kash is draw, puff, drag. So, in this context, draw. So, half draw. Neem half, kash draw. Neem kash. So, a half drawn arrow from the beloved, right? Tire neem kash. Arrow which is half drawn. So, to understand this, we should probably spend a few minutes on the bow and arrow dynamic. Because once we know that, we will enjoy the couplet a little more, or so I believe. So, in the world of archery, right? In the world of archery, bow draw is a term that is used to describe the method or technique of pulling back the bowstring to store energy in the bow to shoot an arrow. So that bow draw is a very critical part. The better you are at the bow draw, the better energy you will store in your bow, and hence the better energy will be transmitted to your arrow when you decide to shoot it. Now, the most common method in modern target archery is the Mediterranean draw. There are others which are called pinch draw, Mongolian or thumb draw, all different techniques. Some of them are very common in Europe, some in the Western world, some are used in the Olympics. So basically, this bow draw ki jo technique hai, it is very critical for anybody who is planning to shoot an arrow. Now, ये तो बात हो गई इन द आर्चरी वर्ल्ड. नाउ इन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ उर्दू पोइट्री, द बिलवेड is usually portrayed as the expert archer, the expert at shooting arrows. Her eyebrows are usually compared to the bow or bowstring, and her eyes or eyelashes are usually compared to the arrows. So she is the archer, her eyebrows form the bow, and her eyelashes or her half closed eyes form the arrow. And it is believed that the beloved uses her eyebrows to draw and launch arrows from her eyes or eyelashes, which are aimed at the heart of the lover. So, उर्दू पोइट्री वर्ल्ड में आर्चरी का ये डायनामिक है. And like I said a few minutes back, it reminds you of the Cupid's arrow, right? But there's a huge difference. Cupid's arrow, Cupid is another entity, and he or it shoots the arrows at the lovers equally. Both lovers are pierced with it. Here the dynamic is a little different, the scenario is a little different. It's the beloved who is launching these arrows very subtly, in a very camouflaged way, yet very expertly, right? So, अब इस कपलेट में जब गालिब कहते हैं तीरे नीमे कश, so the arrow which is half drawn, तीर arrow, neem half, kash drawn. So one wonders that this expert archer of Urdu poetry, the beloved, why would she have a half bow draw? Like we read, or like I shared with you, in the world of archery, that bow draw is very critical. You draw the bow to its maximum to store the maximum strength in the arrow, so that when you kill, the arrow goes through and through its target and kills the target instantly. That's the idea. So why is the beloved having a half-drawn bow? Why not a fully drawn bow? Which would be befitting for the level of expertise this expert archer is supposed to have, right? Why not a fully drawn bow? Now, an expert archer would do a full bow draw, execute a through and through shot, and kill the target instantly. We know that, right? Now, the question that we are faced with is, did the beloved also want to do a full bow draw, execute a through and through shot, and kill the target instantly, but could not do it because of lack of expertise? She failed at it. Either she didn't know how to do it or she tried but she couldn't do it. Would this famous expert archer of Urdu poetry really not know how to do a perfect bow draw? Would this expert archer really miss the mark she intended? That's the question we are faced with, right? Because she did. She did do a half bow draw. Well, in our humble opinion, no. We do not think so. We believe that if the arrow did not go through and through and got lodged into the lover's heart, well, that's what was intended. That's what was intended. The beloved... sorry, I mixed them. Beloved lover का mix हो गया, beloved. Okay, rewind. Beloved never intended the arrow to go through and through, killing the lover instantly. She indeed intended the arrow to get lodged in the heart and stay there, keeping the lover alive, but in a constant, long-drawn state of anxiety, restlessness, and pain. Khalish, ye sab khalish hai, which would not let the lover ever forget her. So that's our personal understanding of the scenario, that half-drawn bow was intended. The long, full bow draw was not done per intention, not because she could not or she missed it. एंड देखिए इसी बात पे पूर्णम अलाहाबादी का ये शेर, तीर वो तीरे नीमे कश तो नहीं, तीर वो तीरे नीमे कश तो नहीं, दिल के जो आर पार होता है. सो इफ इट हैज गॉन थ्रू एंड थ्रू द हार्ट, it is not an arrow from Nimekash, from the beloved's eyes. Because beloved jab arrow marti hai, it is always a half bow draw. And it will never go through and through. And it will go and get lodged into the heart and create this lifelong khalish. And like I always say, Ghalib, very factual, very detail oriented. आराम से कह सकते थे कि कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे तेरे तीर को, राइट, तेरे तीर को, नी में कश कहने की कोई ज़रूरत ही नहीं थी. तेरे तीर को, ये खलिश कहाँ से होती. पर उनको पता है कि अगर नी में कश तीर नहीं हुआ, हाफ ड्रॉन नहीं हुआ, तो वो पार चला जाएगा, वो अटकेगा नहीं. अटकने के लिए इट हैज़ टू बी अ हाफ बो ड्रॉ, राइट. नाउ इंटरेस्टिंगली, अब हम लोगों ने आर्चरी वर्ल्ड का तो देख लिया, उर्दू पोइट्री वर्ल्ड का भी देख लिया, मेडिकल वर्ल्ड का भी देख लेते हैं, राइट. सो इंटरेस्टिंगली, इन द मेडिकल वर्ल्ड, वी वुड नेवर रिमूव एन ऑब्जेक्ट विच हैज़ कॉज्ड अ puncture injury, and an arrow piercing the heart would be a type of puncture injury. So we will never remove it unless you have proper medical setup and medical expertise. And why? Because impaled objects like an arrow or knife or anything like that will create a puncture wound, and then tamponade, which means put pressure on that same wound from inside of the body. And this will control the bleeding. If you were to remove the impaled object without proper medical help, expertise and support, what you will risk is triggering the bleeding, which will, once it starts, not be stopped with any amount of external pressure, because bleeding is happening from inside. सो ऐसा लगता है कि ये जो खलिश है, ये जो अटका हुआ तीर है मिर्ज़ा के दिल में, जान बचाए हुए उनकी मेडिकली स्पीकिंग जान बचाए हुए है। अगर ये तीर निकला तो देर इज़ अ ह्यूज रिस्क एंड प्रोबेबिलिटी कि उसके साथ जान भी निकल जाएगी। So इतना इंटरेस्टिंग डायनेमिक एंड हाउ इन एवरी सिनारियो द डिटेल, द फैक्चुअलिटी, द फैक्ट चेक, गालिब शेयर्स पास एवरी फैक्ट चेक, चाहे वो आर्चरी वर्ल्ड का हो, चाहे मेडिकल वर्ल्ड का हो। उर्दू पोइट्री के तो फैक्ट्स ये बनाते हैं ये बनाते हैं फैक्ट्स, ये चेक नहीं करते, बनाते हैं। मिर्ज़ा गालिब का ये शेर, ज़रा कर ज़ोर सीने पर, ज़रा कर ज़ोर सीने पर कि तीरे पूरे सितम निकले, ज़रा कर ज़ोर सीने पर कि तीरे पूरे सितम निकले, जो वो निकले तो दिल निकले, जो दिल निकले तो दम निकले। कर दी ना मेडिकल बात प्रूफ, कर दी ना हमने अपने शेर में। द अप्रॉक्सीमेट ट्रांसलेशन इज पुट सम प्रेशर ऑन द चेस्ट जरा कर जोर सीने पर, पुट सम प्रेशर ऑन द चेस्ट कि तीरे पूरे सितम निकले, एंड सो दैट यू कैन ड्रॉ आउट द एरो ड्रिपिंग इन टॉर्चर। पुट सम प्रेशर ऑन द चेस्ट, depress the chest down, pull the arrow up. जो वो निकले, when the arrow comes out, तो दिल निकले, the heart will come out attached to it. जो दिल निकले, when the heart will come out, तो दम निकले, life will come out with it. Beautiful, beautiful. He so as a lover he knows कि ये जब तक लॉज्ड है तब तक जान बची है। जहाँ किसी ने इस तीर को निकालने की कोशिश की, तीर के साथ दिल निकल आएगा, दिल के साथ दम निकल आएगा, इट्स ओवर। एंड प्रॉबली इस शेर में वो चाहते हैं कि इट शुड बी ओवर, सो वो कह रहे हैं निकाल दो अब ये तीर, अब ये तीर निकाल दो। So clearly this arrow lodged in the heart is actually probably keeping the lover alive, and when somebody will pull the arrow out, finally the heart will come with it, and so will the life of the lover. Ab one last thought, right, on this couplet. आपको यहाँ पर बिलवेड की आर्चरी की दाद तो देनी पड़ेगी। ऐसे ही उनको एक्सपर्ट आर्चर नहीं कहते उर्दू पोइट्री में। So she has proved that she is an expert archer indeed. तीर मारा इस अंदाज से कि वार तो हुआ पर जान नहीं निकली। वो चाहती तो थ्रू एंड थ्रू जा सकता था। तो कितना, मतलब एक तो है कि आपने पूरी स्ट्रेंथ से फुल बो ड्रॉ कर लिया, पर ड्रॉ करते समय स्ट्रेंथ को इस तरह से मॉनिटर करना कि उतना ही ड्रॉ हो कि ये जाके लॉज हो जाए, पार ना जाए, एक अलग ही लेवल की एक्सपर्टीज है वो। इट रिक्वायर्स अ डिफरेंट लेवल ऑफ कंट्रोल, राइट। सो द बिलवेड इंडीड इज एन एक्सपर्ट आर्चर। उन्होंने वार किया, जान निकलने नहीं दी, बस एक खलिश जिंदगी भर की दे दी लवर को। एंड प्रॉब्ली दैट वॉज द ऑब्जेक्टिव। द ऑब्जेक्टिव वॉज नेवर टू हर्ट, द ऑब्जेक्टिव वॉज नेवर टू किल, द ऑब्जेक्टिव वॉज नेवर टू अटैक। ऑब्जेक्टिव बस ये था कि एक ये नजराना आपको दे जाएंगे जो आपके दिल में एक टीस की तरह जिंदगी भर रहेगा और आपको हमारी याद दिलाता रहेगा। ऐसा लगता है कि अगर जैसे गालिब तो शायर हैं, अगर बिलवेड शायर होती बिलवेड अगर शायर होती तो शायद गालिब को बोलती, कोई आपसे पूछे क्या जान बची होती, गर जिगर के पार होता। राइट, बी थैंकफुल, बी थैंकफुल कि ये जिगर के पार नहीं गया। इतना कंप्लेन मत करो, अगर कर रहे हो तो, है ना। दो गालिब मेरे ख्याल से कंप्लेन नहीं कर रहे हैं, बट अगर कर रहे हैं तो इतना कंप्लेन मत करो, क्योंकि कोई आपसे पूछे क्या जान बची होती गर जिगर के पार होता। सो अच्छी बात है कि जिगर के पार नहीं हुआ। ओके, सो दैट ब्रिंग्स अस टू द एंड ऑफ द फोर्थ कपलेट। कोई मेरे दिल से पूछे तेरे तीरे नी में कश को, ये खलिश कहाँ से होती जो जिगर के पार होता। Hopefully, you enjoyed the impression. If you did, let us know. It's always a delight to hear from you, be it through your comments, feedback, likes. If you know somebody who would enjoy this content, do share it via your social media, WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook. We would really appreciate that. Now, for the new viewers, as always, a very strong recommendation from us to tune into the introduction to DGMZ episode, because that will give you a good insight into the motivation and inspiration behind this podcast. What are we trying to do here? Also, the homepage of the channel has multiple playlists which are segregated topic wise. One of them is dedicated to these ghazal episodes, which we get into every weekend and pick a ghazal from Diwan-e Ghalib. There's another playlist running for the immortal love story of Laila and Majnu, where we are covering that story through narration from a book, through paintings, through prose, through Urdu poetry, and other playlists also segregated topic wise. So explore all the playlists and access the episodes which interest you. That is all I had for today's episode. Sending a lot of love and light to all you dear viewers. Thanks for watching.